Yeah. So in case you're not aware of this, so I reference this in every fans too. So Brandon Graham, basically going out and heavily implying, and then kind of doubling down that AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, that there's something going on between them, and they're not really getting along right now. I know Coleman like retweeted, he's like, this is something that probably should have stayed in house.
Yes.
I think what's interesting is after this past Sunday, there was criticism that was lofted at Jalen Hurts to saying like, hey, can this guy, is the passing game good enough for them to win a Super Bowl? Right.
Sure.
And now you have this that's thrown on the fire. And let me be very clear. The Eagles are still winning football games.
Yeah.
Like they just beat the Ravens.
9-0.
They just beat the Ravens. Yeah, they won 9 straight games. They just beat the Ravens. And everyone's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then they barely beat the Panthers. And the Panthers almost beat the Chiefs. And they almost freaking beat the Buccaneers, right? So the Panthers have been playing much, much better. And now the sky is falling, but you're still winning. And I think a lot of it is like, the media is taking this too and kind of taking it out. But I thought about it. Like I sat with this for a little bit and was like, damn, this just makes it like, if you're an Eagles fan, this just makes it so much worse. Like, because now it's like, I can't even enjoy my team when they're winning right now because we're getting criticism of oh man, there's dysfunction within the organization and it just.
No, but I think Eagles fans are the most critical. That's the crazy part.
I agree.
They're like, we should have beat the Panthers by more.
I know.
More, Tom.
I have no patience for that because Packers fans do it too. Chiefs fans do it too. Like any organization that's like, oh man, like they're supposed to be good or supposed to be the better team. And if they barely beat it, it's like, how can we? I get it. It's fine. It's football.
I'll be honest, Max. I don't know if I can take tree during a playoff game if the Broncos are losing.
That's very fair. Fair. But yeah, man, like it just seems like winning is not helping the perception of the Eagles as much as I thought it would. Like I'm looking at the Eagles as an unbiased fan because I don't like root against for the Eagles. I'm looking at them like they're a good football team.
They're very good.
Defense is playing really well. Saquon's playing well. Are there flaws? Yes. But as we've said now this entire season, every team has flaws. Yeah. And I think the Eagles can win a lot of football games and they can be Super Bowl contenders. Can they lose? Sure. But as Perna just said, every team could do that.
I don't think you really have to worry until you watch somebody shut down Saquon Barkley.
Please no, Sean. Please no. Agreed.
And that hasn't happened. And it hasn't happened specifically in the second half of football games. So if you're a fan, don't worry about that. I think what it really comes down to, Brandon Graham saying it obviously is like pouring gasoline on a little fire.
Sure.
Because my take was like, receivers are always going to bitch. Like you can never take a receiver complaining about not getting touches personal. That's just who they are.
Sure.
Because they rely on the quarterback getting the ball to them. They have no control over that part. I think it was just the way AJ Brown said it, right? Because he was like, they're like, what do you guys need to improve on? What needs to get better? And he's just like, the passing game. And like they followed up. He's just like, yeah, the passing game. If you get like,
yeah,
it's the way he said it. That's all it comes down to. If you're like, you know what? We're winning football games right now. Saquon's been great. If we can get the passing game going a little bit more, part of that, like you have to you have to shoulder some of the blame in your answer, even if it's not true. We talk about like how quarterbacks have to like protect their players,
Anthony
not throw them under the bus.
Anthony Richardson saying, I was tired. Can't say that, buddy. Like you can't, even if it's, you can't say that.
Just be like, yeah, I think.
All right, space.
If our passing game really starts clicking, like we've seen it, nobody's going to beat us. We've got some things we got to iron out, some little things we got to fix, and we're working on that. Like it's just like the passing game needs to. What people ran with is that's AJ Brown saying Jalen Hurts not getting him or anybody the ball enough, and so that's why that part starts to become a thing. And again, that wouldn't have been a big deal until Brandon Graham was like, my quarterback and receiver are fighting.
Yeah.
They've got a tiff, Tom.
They got a little tiff.
They're in it. They had BFF necklaces and neither one of them are wearing them anymore, Tom.
That'd be funny, Elite.
But, and then Sirianni tried to squash it, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just sometimes when people are talking about that bullshit, it's actually a good thing. It's like, okay, let's just go out and keep winning. Who cares what people think there? Anyway, I do love the drama, though.
Well, there is drama, and it's just Yeah, if you're an Eagles fan, I say this with like, oh look, who cares? Like I mean, like this is
Yeah.
they're winning football games. Until they stop winning football games, who cares? Like that's really, I think, the mindset. Because would you like everyone to be kumbaya and holding hands and everyone get along and the offense is looking great in terms of the passing game as well? Sure. And again, you could want your team to get better and you want to see Jalen Hurts do better and you want to see it all valid. But I think like it's just noise. It's noise. And I know the concern is this what is going to sink us come playoff time? And the answer, maybe, but there's also the opposing team you got to worry about. So
and
I'd put more focus and energy on that.
Hurts he's not throwing for a ton of yards, right? But last game, it was 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 108 passing yards. Like the week before that, it's just 1 touchdown, no pick. 1 touchdown, no pick. No touchdown, no pick. Like he's being safe with the football. So you can criticize him not being accurate all the time or throwing
He hasn't been the
well.
best quarterback this year, but there's still 9 straight wins.
Yeah, he's safe with it. He had a really big run in that game, and on the goal line, nobody can stop Jalen Hurts. He's more unstoppable on the goal line than Saquon Barkley. He has as many rushing touchdowns this season as Derrick Henry. Like, sure, maybe your passing numbers are going to suffer a little bit, but you're doing other things that nobody can stop on their offense.